Hello, one and all, welcome to Page Against the Machine. My name is Ryan, and today we are playing Watch Dogs Legion, brand new release. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I've played all of the Watch Dog games up until this one. I loved all of them, and this one's based in London, an area that I know, kind of. So, yeah, I'm super excited for this game. I have been so excited for it. Just need to wait for it to load in. Oh my god! Also, the first time in a while I've bought a game on release. Whew, this game were not cheap. I usually wait like 6 months for it to get cheap before I buy it. Just couldn't resist with this one. So many good games coming out this month. Really hard decision which one I was going to get. I'm like, Ubisoft.
Ah, London. What a town. History around every corner, and a tourist photographing it. Pubs serving up a pint and a smile. All that music, theatre and art. And multiculturalism. And the world's oldest underground, the Tube. The class of cities, really. Top shelf stuff. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
What's our status?
Perimeter security's down, but plenty of your flying friends about.
Fucking hell.
Dalton, no time to waste.
Yes, ma'am.
Dalton. Now that's a name.
I'm in. Any idea what we're up against, Bagley?
If you hadn't brushed off, I might. Ever consider leaving these security threats to the authorities?
That's rich, Bagley. The government would sooner arrest us for trying to help than actually do something useful.
We'll have to sort this one on our own.
Carefully, Dalton.
Bagley, are you detecting a little worry in Sabine's voice?
Brilliant. Asking the computer about feelings. This explains so much.
Shut it, you two, and get to work.
There she is.
And then show me how to play this game. Investigate the threat to Parliament. Oh wow, this is dark.
Perimeter security's back up. South entrance is secure.
That hurt you more than it hurt me.
Do us a favor and keep it quiet, Dalton.
If they don't shoot me, I won't shoot them. How's that?
Wow, this is really dark. Might have to tweak my settings a bit.
Top the eyes, cross the T's, lads. Top it up. Tick-tock.
Okay, there we go, I can see now.
They've got loads of Dedsec gear down here. Now, why do you suppose that is?
What? How did they get their hands on it?
I don't know. But someone wants to make it look like Dedsec was here.
Shit. You need to proceed with extreme caution, Dalton.
Who are these men in black, anyway?
Nothing identifying. I suspect that's by design.
Electrical is live. Repeat. Fireworks are live.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Bagley, is that...
RDX nitrogen. Enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Something...
They've staged Dedsec propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator first.
Melee swing. Oh.
Right in the House of Commons. Whoever these men in black are, they've got brass bollocks to set up in the centre of government.
I found the detonator. And it's definitely live. Bagley, I'm gonna need some help with this.
Yes, you are, but sadly I'm locked out.
Fuck. Well, we don't have a chance without Bagley.
Wait, I might know a workaround. We trained in manual overrides at MI5.
You're full of surprises. Be quick about it.
All right, Bagley, do your thing.
I'm in. And the bombs have just armed themselves. Well, that may complicate matters.
Fuck's sake. Can you defuse them or not?
Of course I can, but I might also trip another failsafe and vaporize you, so fair warning.
Expect this to draw some attention your way, Dalton.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Company at our back door. Shit. Dalton, we've got some heat here at HQ.
How long is this gonna take, Bagley?
Depends how often you interrupt me with questions.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out. It's about to get real.
They're on me. I'll try and hold them off.
Shooting gallery.
Keep your eyes open. Shooting! I won't hesitate to shoot you.
Bagley, update.
Let's just say I'm both impressed and annoyed by how sophisticated this anti-tamper security is. Still working.
Bagley, tell me you're close.
I'm through security, now wading through terabytes of decoy code looking for the detonation sequence.
Damn it! Where's my backup?
Problem, Dalton. I need your physical appendages now.
What's wrong?
There are 3 slots on the left. One of them is the receiver. You need to pull the controller wire.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm fucking not. Pull the wire.
If this gets me blown up...
Bombs defused. See? That wasn't so bad, was it?
Bagley, you bastard. You nearly gave me a bloody heart attack then.
This guy could not sound more British, but like American British if
Well,
you
what the
try.
fuck am I looking at?
It appears Parliament is not the only target. More bombs are going live as we speak.
On screen, Bagley.
Now we need to get the word out. Those sites need to be evacuated.
They're spread out all over London. There isn't any time.
But my sister's at the Tone Conference. We have to do something.
I picked up a transmitter on the roof that is sending out a signal to the other bomb sites. If you can reach it...
I can shut it all down. Sabine!
Fuck! Dalton, we're breached! Go! The roof!
Sabine, what's going on?
We're being raided. It's a bloodbath. Her protocol is to wipe everything, including Bagley.
I need him for the transmitter.
I know, but if they get him, they get everything. Names, ops, locations.
Okay, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Wipe him.
Yes, wipe me.
Do it, Sabine, and get the hell out of there.
Fuck. Okay, Bagley's down. You're on your own. Dalton, if this goes...
It won't. I'll see you at the rally point. I promise.
Good luck.
Oh god, I'm such a bad shot.
Watch out!
Maybe to cover.
Well done, Dalton Wolf. I'm impressed.
The fuck are you?
Oh, you still think you're here to save London? I'm afraid that's not going to happen. You're here to help us with some important work.
Important work? Killing thousands of...
Exactly. To save the world. You do know Londoners have died before, hmm? The plague, the Great Fire, the Blitz. It's not much fun. But destruction is always the cure. And it begins today. 0 day. It's time for a hard reset.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Wow, that's quite a start, isn't it? Hot dang.
A series of explosions
You killed the hostages.
devastated 3 sites in London. Authorities are asking residents to remain in their homes as the situation continues to develop. We have received no official casualty total, but it is expected.
Mourners gathered for a series of candlelight vigils that brought closure to thousands of families and indeed to an entire city. London is now laser focused on
Today at 10 Downing Street, where Nigel Cass, CEO of private military company Albion, received a mandate to secure London. Cass has vowed to hunt down Dedsec. Terrorist responses failed. Albion used cutting-edge artificial intelligence systems and autonomous drones to capture the remaining members of Dedsec. A stark warning to would-be insurgents.
Corporations are posting record profits due to increased efficiencies in production and distribution, enabled by the use of technologies initially developed and approved for security purposes.
Overdue cleanup as crime numbers take a dive. Illegal gambling, drug trafficking and prostitution all down following prosecutions of the leaders of 4 of London's 5 largest criminal syndicates. The streets of Camden and Brixton.
As Albion's mandate is extended indefinitely by the government, life finally begins to return to normal. Curfews and travel restrictions have been lifted in all boroughs, thanks to the deployment.
News outlets' reports of rioting in Trafalgar Square have been greatly exaggerated, possibly by foreign meddlers pushing a false narrative through social media. Albion is in complete control of a few
reprimand the public about the circulation of fake news, conspiracy theories persisting in dark corners of the internet that terrorist group Dedsec were framed for the bombings have been roundly rejected. Our own reporters could not find a single Londoner willing to expound those theories on camera. The facts simply do not support any other story.
I need to assemble a team, but I can't reboot Dedsec alone. Let me break into London CTOS and see who's available.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, Dedsec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up Dedsec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than Dedsec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing Dedsec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? Dedsec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
And Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, Dedsec showed their true colors. It's terrifying to think we harbored such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find Dedsec more frightening than the different gangs in London, like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next, I have Crypto King. Do you feel safer using a pseudonym?
Everyone should. Why make it easier for them to track you? And now we've seen what they're capable of and how far they're willing to go.
Hold on. Do you mean the government? Are you suggesting the government was responsible for the bombings?
Oh, trust me, Claire. They didn't do it alone. They're all in on it. The government, Albion, Sirs, Bloom, Sky Bloody Larson, and all the way up to Downing Street. They want to keep us scared, harness us with mind control, suck every last ounce of usefulness out of us, and even in death they'll set off our bodies.
And what do you suggest we do, Crypto King?
Go underground. Deep enough, no electric signal can get you. It's the only way.
Well, thank you to all of our callers today, and thank you for tuning in and scouting for the truth along with me. Next week, Buccaneer Radio will be diving into the Albion Corporation. Just who are these men and women being paid lucrative amounts for the city's defense? Are they protecting us? Protecting London? Or someone else's interests? See you next week, fellow pirates. Claire Waters, out.
Shit. Situation is worse than I thought. But there's a candidate. Looks like you're Dedsec's best hope.
Ooh, who should we go for? Clothing discount. Creates fake coupons. Shorter team arrest time. Banned for life from London Zoo. Shorter team injury time. Extra faction damage. Why not?
Glad to see you're alive. If you're still committed to the cause, Dedsec needs you. I'll send you the coordinates to our last safe house. Meet me there.
Fine.
Buccaneer, this is the Bug. Hello, Resistors, it's Bug time. Are you all sitting comfortably? No? Good. That's as it should be. This is the Bug. I'm Andy, and joining me to analyse the latest blowflies to emerge from the corpse of a once free Britain, it's Alice.
Hello, Andy.
And today, we're going to talk to you about Albion, your friends and mine. Alice, the government has extended Albion's contract. and have also boasted that violent crime has plummeted to a record low. Now,
God, these
extending Albion's
driving
contract,
controls.
to me, that's like having a pet dog, let's call it Nigel for the sake of argument, that attacks you every single day and thinking to yourself, wouldn't it be nice if Nigel had puppies?
That contract has been extended so many times. It's like the neck of a politician that's criticised the government.
I'm not sure entirely how those contract extension negotiations went, probably like a footballer. In the old days, I assume Albion's agent was leaking stories to the press about how our favourite private militia was being tapped up by Barcelona. The government panics and thinks, well, we better get them signed up before it's too late. But still, violent crime, a record low, although I imagine that probably depends exactly how you count it. If you include violent crime committed by the state, either themselves or via Albion, their chosen violent crime contractors, who provide such a very valuable bargain. Service of beating people up, well, it's probably not quite as low as the figures suggest.
I don't know. I think they're probably right. Who has the opportunity to commit violent crime these days anyway? The moment you pick up a fruit knife, you get tasered by a robot policeman and deported for looking Bulgarian. It's a much more peaceful society. It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts. Alice, I mean, are they paid per dissident duffed up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? And what is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota of some kind.
Well, what is the set rate? Is it 99.95 cryptos bargain? Seems very reasonable indeed. I imagine they don't ask too much anyway, Albion, because it's just so nice to get paid for doing your hobby anyway, isn't it? I imagine it doesn't even feel like work.
I mean, who needs violent crime anymore anyway? You know, you can just starve to death without even starting a gang war.
We do have to ask exactly what does the Prime Minister make of all this. Let's ask him. Oh, I hope they pick up. Hello, you're through to number 10 Downing Street. Hello, is the Prime Minister there, please? Let me just check. Sorry, you've missed him. I'm afraid he's popped out for the decade. Oh, never mind. Is there anyone else I can talk to? Yes, of course. There's a shady cabal of vested interests who control him and put him up in power. Great, I'll have a chat with them then.
Oh, and you remember when you could get away with prank calls without people coming round to your house to beat the shit out of you?
Oh, happy times.
You're listening to The Bug.
Did you think the Prime Minister will ever come back?
I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister.
Well, that's a much more reassuring way of looking at things. What have we become, Alice? When you look at the state of our politics, we're supposed to have the mother of parliaments. Well, this is one mother that has emphatically abandoned her kids in the woods to be brought up by wolves. And let me tell you, that never works out like it does in the stories. Wolves are bad parents, unless you're a wolf, in which case they can do a job bringing you up as a wolf. Do not give your children to wolves. And do we actually own anything as a country now? Is there anything we haven't flogged off for profit? Oh, I think we've basically just become a homeopathic Britain. Diluted and diluted until there's barely a trace of the original Britain left. But some quackish lunatics insist it actually works better that way. It's total bullshit. Is there anything left? New on the Bug this week, a new feature. The Bug Off feature. The person who is most irritated us in Britain this week, we're going to tell to bug off, and to get things going, I'm going to nominate Big Nigel Castle. This is Britain. History tells us this place is the bastion of freedom. I'm just not sure that kind of
I've downloaded a patch to your optics so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't Dedsec in. You will have to do the manual override.
Manual override? Shouldn't be a problem. Not like I have to swear a blood oath or anything. Right?
Oh, I see.
Come on, you got to be joking. I can't believe this is happening. Why does this always bloody happen? All right, take it easy.
Come on, mate. One of Sabine's, are you? I'll see you downstairs later then.
If I were you, I'd get a proper fucking haircut, you pathetic, shaggy-ass motherfucker.
Oh, people are just trying my patience. unacceptable.
Well, here goes nothing.
Ooh.
Anyone home? No? Well then, let's get the power back on.
Ooh.
No Dedsec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
Good luck. I hardly drink. Besides, Sabine sent me.
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, Dedsec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the Dedsec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed.
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network, although there's been some secrecy around its use, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only even more secret.
Yeah, now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks completely ridiculous. It's got that silly crown thing at the top and all the blue light.
Oh god, that's gonna be for days listening to all of these.
Ah, that's it. I'm reconnected to the network, downloading our database, news archives, and oh no. Terrorist group Dedsec responsible for deadly bombings in London. Dalton Wolf dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
Someone must have framed Dedsec for the bombings. But who could possibly do that?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton, well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed Dedsec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call. Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
Jesus. How did you survive?
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition here would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
These days, Dedsec's reputation isn't exactly top-notch. I'd like to make London a better place, but if I was caught working with you...
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral.
It's really annoying me.
And if Dedsec can't pull it out,
I know that
trust
voice.
me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you.
James Kidd in
What do you say?
Black Flag.
Can't walk away from this now. Let's get started.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to Dedsec.
Oh.
Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential. Items in your Dedsec kit.
Ooh. I mean, I've got to have a spider bot. Infiltrator spider bot. Oh.
We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
Okay, I'm kind of a fan of that. One of the pre-order perks.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In Dedsec, we try to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old Dedsec contact, not to mention a champion amateur boxer. Go to the practice ring and she'll show you how to stop flinching when someone cocks a punch at you.
I'll be right down. Could use the warm-up.
Oh god.
That's it! Nice one! You want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. Yes! Nice one! Yes! Nice one! Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. Just like that. Nice one.
Right, gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent Dedsec now.
Ooh. Serious? Like seriously serious? Jam yourself, yeah?
Okay, where do we begin?
Make no...
Are you interested in helping London?
Hang on, are you Dedsec?
I could put a good word in for you.
Good enough for me. How'd you like to help me be a pain in Clan Kelly's ass?
Go on.
Fine, here's the deal. Some knuckle-dragging gangsters have been going around intimidating shopkeepers and old ladies into paying protection money. I'm not okay with this. So I hacked together a little worm that will drain their stolen crypto and give it right back to the people they took it from. But I need their private key to make it work.
So maybe Dedsec can help you find that key?
Nailed it. If you get me that file, I can steal back everything those gangster pricks took. If you help me out with this, I'll owe you one. A big one.
All right, we'll look into it.
I'm just gonna let my blood boil over this.
Network traffic points to the private key being on some kind of mobile server, probably a van in one of their hideouts.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there can be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind...
Oh, I actually know this bit of London. I think.
I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? The first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse when we got it out. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes stopped coming in. Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use in cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now, that stuff, it has a short half-life. Technetium used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening for cancer, let alone testing for cancer. But that stuff has a half-life of 66 hours. As soon as those walls went up, there was just no time to bring it into the country, and that is when people started dying. And then the medicines. The thing is, there's loads of medicines that you just can't stockpile. There was a moment before it took place when actually there was some effort to try and stockpile some of the medicines. There was some things that could be done. For a lot of it, there was literally nothing that could be done. We had a major problem with drugs for schizophrenia. So we saw such an uptick in the kind of attacks that you saw in the street and people suffering on their own because they didn't have the mental health done.
That's the vehicle you're looking for there.
Okay, right.
What's the big deal with this riot?
and they were scared. So they went to the black market. The same thing that always happens. Where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from?
I hear the sound.
Bagley, I have the crypto key, but I think I'm in trouble. Can you find me a safe spot to meet with our hacker friend?
Got it. Pushing the location now.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours. And yet, here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short on basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run the cities. And Prime Minister Dedsec isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages. Auto drive now enabled.
I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? Like, the first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes stopped coming in. Now,
that's interesting.
That's what
so
we
you
use
can
in
set it
cancer
to just
screening and
drive
cancer treatment.
for you.
Now, that stuff, it has a short half-life. Technetium used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening for cancer, let alone testing for cancer. But that stuff has a half-life of 66 hours. As soon as those walls went up, there was just no time to bring it into the country, and that is when people started dying. And then the medicines. The thing is, there's loads of medicines that you just can't stockpile. There was a moment before it took place when actually there was some effort to try and stockpile some of the medicines. There was some things that could be done. For a lot of it, there was simply nothing that could be done. We had a major problem.
Auto drive now disabled.
So we saw such an uptick in the kind of attacks that you saw in the street and people suffering on their own because they didn't have the mental health drugs, because those drugs simply couldn't be stockpiled. We eventually found the same thing with foods that weren't produced in the UK. And the trouble with the UK was we don't produce our own food. We never have. For hundreds of years, we produced under half of our own food. So as soon as those walls went up, we started having significant material problems in the country. I mean, Britain always told itself it had this national myth, right? That it, because it got through the war, that it could go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case, actually. People during the war were far more frightened than some of this historical stuff makes out. Now, what did we see? People don't want to go through that stuff. They were desperate for the things that they had before, and they were scared. So they went to the black market. The same thing that always happens. And where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from? It came from people wanting the things that they could previously get legitimately and can now only get through the black market, funneling funds towards criminality. And from there, we got to the situation we have now of this bit of war between criminals and security that seems to dominate what's going on out there on the streets.
Nothing shakes people's faith in capitalism quite as much as when capitalism fails to deliver. Here's underground writer and analyst Alfie, The Politics of Poverty.
I think what we've come to now is a realisation that capitalism has essentially failed. I mean, the one key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens is that there will be surplus, that we will have plenty, and that's the whole logic for running society in this way, that people will have enough. And now, with these kind of huge shortages of everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached a situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine in an advanced country like ours, and yet here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turned out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that could be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? Like, the first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh.
Hey, where are you? You were supposed to meet us to drain the account. Did you forget?
Relax. I'm nearby grabbing the key over wireless. I don't want to be, like, super obvious if Clan Kelly comes round.
Please, that'll never happen. We'll be in and out before... Oh, no. There they are. Clan Kelly hostiles incoming.
Shit, fine. I'll keep them off you while you grab the funds.
On it.
You've made it your whole life not dying. Don't quit yet.
I mean, it didn't help that I didn't know they were coming until...
You're activated. Don't get killed.
I can do this. Of course I can do this.
That's pretty much the opposite of what our prospect would have wanted. Oh well.
God damn it. Oh. Well, that was a pain in the backside.
Control to all units. Possible hostiles to your location. Proceed. Moving in hostiles' direction.
Come in, dispatch. Drones are en route to suspect.
Combat mode engaged.
Where did they go? Shit!
the search. Control. Put out an APW.
To be fair, this is just all I wanted to do. Just wanted to ride a drone. Okay, well, I think that is pretty much all that we've got time for today, so thank you for tuning in. My name is Ryan, this has been Page Against the Machine playing Watch Dogs Legion, and I shall see you all next time. Bye bye.